Yeah, today we will be starting the new topic, Unit 4, Sociological Thinkers. But before coming to the sociological thinkers, I would like to know what are the different schools of thoughts regarding the scope of the subject matter or the sociology. There are some schools related to it. A specialistic school, formalistic school, and these are the two schools related here. Related with specialistic. This is also formalistic. And is scholar related Siemens, Tonys, Von Weiss, Virkan. Remember, my friend, the scholar's name will give added flavor to your answer. What I have said, sociology easy minus the scholar's name, and it is compulsory for us to substantiate our answer with the scholars. Then only it will appear like a sociological answer, isn't it? Yes, please. Okay. The formalistic or specialistic school, what is their interpretation about sociology? What should be the boundary of sociology?
They want to restrict such a scope of sociology to like forms of sociology.
Forms and contents, isn't it? They consider that it should have its limited scope because there are various type of social interaction, and so they should be focusing on those forms and content of it. On the other hand, synthetic school, who are associated? Anyone or Hobhouse, Durkheim? Okay. How they observe this synthetic school?
They try to coordinate with other disciplines.
Yeah, they say that don't create one more specialist school, widen up yourself so that you can coordinate with the other social sciences because it is a necessary component to understand the society. Only these two schools?
So when asked, shall we write 2 schools or 3 schools?
See, it is better because the extension has taken gradually. First, we should mention about the two schools over there, but later on in 1950s, again importance was given to the earlier what was talked from Auguste Comte by the Parson. And remember, Parson is one of the most dominant sociologists of 20th century. And that is the reason it got the prominence. So it becomes logical here that prominently we are studying two, but then onward the third has emerged with the dominant sociologist when he has supported it. Okay? And other to it, what could be the conclusion about the scope of sociology in the subject?
There is no definite it is not objectively visible.
Objective boundary.
Yeah, because logically we have explained, and then we say here, other to it, don't forget to mention some of the things. As in sociological imagination, C.W. Mills has said that the contemporary issue also comes there, or the issues which has not been taken by other science, social sciences, they have been included into sociology to give it See, these are the freshness of your theoretical answer. The lastly what has been mentioned, these are the freshness of your theoretical answer, that yes, you are well aware about the contemporary development taking place in this theoretical aspect, isn't it? Okay, what encyclopedic says?
It has a holistic approach.
Yes, from any part, if it is relevant for enrichment of your scope or the content, it should be taken. It should not be just focused to only coordinating with other social sciences, but any aspect. If enrich your research, your understanding, it should be taken from it. Okay, then there are few major social sciences with which sociology is compared. What are those? Okay. How can we compare or just compare between political science and sociology?
The type of governance in the society is influenced by the social issues or in short sociology of the background.
Background is sorted or anything else?
Modern welfare
Yes,
subject matter overlays.
yes. In
Political
mo-
science study only political institutions, while sociology study entire institutions.
you people are giving all the features, means you people are correct here. Just missing one thing to get 1 or half marks extra. Contribution of some of the scholar. Remember, my friend, because everybody will write all these things, isn't it? Giddens has said, means remember, deliberately we need to mention them, because you will find that 90% of the students, they don't mention those things, and those people who mention, they deliberately mention it. It is not your choice. Just like a medicine, you wish or not, you will have to take it. The same thing is here also. And for that, what I have said in the introductory class, that separately you can prepare a sheet where the scholars and their contribution can be written, so that if regularly when you will revise it, it will get memorized. And always deliberately try to enrich your answer with any minimum one. If 2 or 3, it is very good, but minimum one of the scholars' name should be inserted. Deliberately you try to do till the scholar's name is not there, it will not appear to be a sociological answer. Or in other way, you can say, just inserting the name of the scholar or some contribution, your answer becomes sociological. Otherwise, everybody knows that what are the features, what are the contents, isn't it? Okay. Sociology and history. Yeah?
They are both interrelated subjects.
Yes.
Ideographic versus demographic.
Very good. Will get half marks extra. Now, except you, explain others what is ideography or no.
Ideography about the exact events, historical events in the past, and it will overview in a
Videography
generalization.
about unique events.
Yes. Very good. Any other feature? Nomothetic, what you have said? General understanding. Okay. Anthropology?
Study of primitive societies.
Means comparison between them. My friend, make it a habit that before coming to the class, at least go through the previous class topic. And remember, when our class will end, you will be 50% sociologist. Right now it is painful, but at that time you will enjoy. And during writing, when you are writing means, you will be very happy also. Okay. Now let us come to the main topic today. Sociological thinkers. What is difference between thinkers and sociologists?
Sociologist pursues a PhD
Please.
and thinkers
They don't need any certification, isn't it? Other to it, thinkers are not related to any specific discipline. Whichever discipline consider that their contribution is of their relevance, they will take it from them. Isn't it? Okay, how many thinkers are in our unit 4? 6? 5 or 4? Parsons, Merton, and Mead. Remember one thing when we are studying thinkers, that every thinker has some base, philosophical base. On the basis of their philosophical base, they develop their various aspects of theories. But that will be very much prominent in most of their theories. One aspect, just take an example, Marx. In this dialectical materialism is his base. Durkheim, social fact is the base. Weber, social action. Means you will find that in most of their other theories, they are trying to insert or they're trying to interpret those things on the basis of the philosophical base. Parsons, yes, means all of them has or most of them has some philosophical base. This is one aspect. You will find that when we are going to various theories, we will find them that they are trying to interpret other theories also on their main base. Other to it, yes, one thing remember, when we are studying thinkers, don't apply your own mind. What I mean to say here, that try to get into the shoes of the thinker itself. Means which way the thinker is trying to think, we should also try to think in the same manner instead of thinking about the criticism of his way of analysis. At the initial stage, we should not permit us to see the flaws of the thinkers, because nothing is perfect. There are various other scholars who will be criticizing them. But first of all, we need to understand what the thinker wants to say. If we will try to think according to their thought, it will become easier for us to understand. First thing, because at the last we will go through the criticism, but that is not the way of understanding a thinker. Other to it, these thinkers are related to some specific schools. Functionalist, interactionist, Marxist. Now, we should know that what is the mindset or way of thinking of that school. Remember, the moment if we know some ideology, means these schools are talking about a specific ideologies. The moment we come to know that the person belongs to such and such ideology, we can assume that the person will be thinking in such and such way. The same thing, when we come to know that from which school they belong to, it becomes easier for us to understand that this particular thinker will be thinking or explaining the things in a specific pattern. We have Marxist, interactionist, functionalist. These are the three prominent. Naturally, Marx is the founding father of Marxism, so he will be the Marxist. What is the specific thing about Marxism or Marxist approach? They find that change in the society takes place due to conflict. Isn't it? Means wherever he will be discussing about the various aspects, the main theme will be regarding conflict. That conflict is the major reason of changes. Other to it, he will be giving the explanation on the basis of transformation in economics. He is also known as economic deterministic. Means his theory is known as economic deterministic theory. His economic deterministic means, what does it mean? The main focal area of his discussion will be the economy. Due to economy, all the things will be determined according to him. So two things, the moment the Marxist comes, that first determinant will be the economic criteria, and the second, because of this economic inequality, conflict will take place and transformation in the society will take. Means the moment we come to know that any of the scholar is related to Marxism or Marxist approach, you will find that they will be thinking in the same pattern. Because this is an ideology on the same pattern. Either you say A.R. Desai, India, or others also you will come to know about them. The moment we know that they are influenced by a specific approach, that way of thinking will be more or so the same. Another prominent is functionalist. Yes, Durkheim, Parsons, as well as Merton. These three of our thinkers are functionalist. Marx is clear. Other prominent thinkers, Durkheim, Parsons and Merton, they are functionalist. What is meaning of function? Function means? Yeah?
Role or responsibility.
Yes, means work. Function means work.
The mechanism on the society works.
Yeah, mechanism on which the society works. Means the functionalist will always consider that if there is some standardized norms, standardized norms means any such norm which is accepted by majority of the people. Standardized means which, remember, never 100% acceptability can be in society. There is nothing perfect. But if any norms is followed by majority of the people, he says that they are standardized norms, and according to them, those things are functional for the society. Means they will be always searching if there is any such type of standardized norms, means majority of the people accepts it. The functionalist will consider or try to know that what is its utility in the society. Getting it? Yes, they will be always finding about the utility of those norms, standardized norms, because they consider that when majority of the people accepts it, it means it has some utility for the society, to maintain the stability of the society. So this will be the approach of the functionalist. You will find Durkheim, Parsons as well as Merton thinking in the same pattern. Interactionist. What is interaction?
Communication.
Communicate between two or more people, isn't it? Yes. Remember, these two are trying to observe society objectively, your public behavior. Other to it, this Marxist functionalists, they are grand theory. Grand theory means larger, isn't it? Because they consider that societal activity influences the individual, isn't it? They will always consider that the society influences the individual. That is a larger perspective. On the other hand, or this is also a grand theory of macro. Macro theory, larger. On the other hand, interactionists, they are known as micro theory or subjectivity. A smaller group, isn't it? Other to it, we can understand better through subjectivity. Yes, who are associated with interactionist? Weber and Mead. Yes, when we will be approaching, you will find that Weber and Mead are trying to interact from micro group to the larger group. Yesterday already we have discussed about his social action, means till the meaning is not assigned between the two people, it doesn't has any meaning in itself, or we cannot interpret the action. My friend, this understanding for you is very necessary. If you are able to understand the mindset of these thinkers, it becomes very easy to understand. Because now we are in not dilemma that which way they will be interpreting. You will find that in further when we will be going through the various topics and theories, you will find that they have a specific type of mindset. And on that pattern they are going to work. So now onward, remember when you are studying thinkers, try to put yourself in the shoes of the thinker. At the starting stage, don't develop criticism till you are able to understand the theory. And once you understand the theory, then you will also find that other scholars are also talking about the flaws of the theory. Okay? Yes, today we will be starting with Karl Marx. In this we will be studying historical materialism, mode of production, alienation and class conflict. Now, before starting this historical materialism, we'll discuss about the philosophical base of Marx, that is dialectical materialism. Yes, it is not in our syllabus, but we need to understand it because this will give us clarity about the forthcoming topics of Marxism, and other to it, as I have said, that every thinkers has their philosophical base, and you will find that prominently they are using their base in other theories. Yes, this dialectical materialism has been coined, or has these words has been taken from two scholars. Marx has put them at one place. One, that is Hegel. Hegel has for the first time used the word dialectical, and materialism was used by Feuerbach, a German philosopher, thinker, and so the word was coined. Now, what is dialectical? Just in common sense interpretation, dialectical means it is an art of discussion to investigate the truth of a theory or opinion, logic based. Materialism, that is matter. Matter means economy, isn't it? Yes, as we have said that he has taken the word dialectical materialism from two scholars, Hegel and Feuerbach. And remember, Marx was very much influenced by Hegel. We don't need to know lot of things about Hegel, just know that he was influenced by him. And when you are influenced by somebody, you are also attracted by some of their action or behavior. Yes, Hegel considered that if we want to know the absolute or God, it can be known from self-knowledge of the world. Means, in simple sentence, he considered that idea can change your life. Yes, he says, according to him, the changes in the society takes place due to our ideas. At different stages, different type of idea evolves, and the changes takes place in the society. Marx says that yes, I agree that changes in the society takes place, but it is not due to idea but matter. Matter, that is he said that society is in constant change. Society can never be static. It will never remain static. And so he says the type of economy is there. You will find the different type of society prevailing. He said that change takes place due to change in economy, because when change in economy takes place, even change in the idea will take place. So it is been said that scholars consider that Marx put Hegel upside down. सर के बल खड़ा कर देना. What he gave least importance to the economy. Marx gave the most important reason of the changes. Yes, Marx says that it is not your consciousness that determines your social existence. He said that the people's consciousness doesn't determine their social existence, but your social existence develops the consciousness. To simplify it, you people are civil aspirant. This is also talking about the social existence. We belong to middle class society. Don't we? In general, we belong to middle class society. And this is developing the consciousness that through our merit we can go to higher echelons. Yes, my friend, a poverty-stricken family cannot visualize about becoming an IAS officer. Your social existence is determining your desire or your consciousness. Ambani's son or daughter, will they aspire to become an IAS officer? Why? They can employ them. Social existence, we are talking about the social existence, isn't it? Social existence means he said that social existence determines your consciousness, the type of your thinking. Whichever hierarchy we belong, accordingly we start thinking about it. It is not that because you are well aware and so you have started thinking about it, that no, I am well aware, now I should become a civil servant. You will find that in majority of the, there is always exception, and sociology doesn't take exception in that example. In general, in majority it happens that consciousness comes due to your social existence. Got it? Yes. Because he considered that sociology is in constant change, never can be static. He has, means what he has thought, his associate Angel, he has given that there are three different types through which dialectical materialism takes place. Changes takes place. Angels has talked about it. That is law of unity of opposites, law of negation of negation, law of transition of quantity into quality. Change is a gradual process, as we have discussed. He considered that no society is static, so it is a gradual process. But Marx says that change is a gradual process, but it is not always gradual. Sometimes revolutionary changes takes place, abrupt changes takes place, and that changes the whole system itself. He has talked that capitalism will be overthrown and communism will come. This transition will be revolutionary, abrupt. So he said the change is a constant phenomena, it will be taking place, but at a particular time, abrupt change will take place. Now let us come here, then I will be explaining it. He said that our society is made of law of unity of opposites. The whole life of a human being is made up of unity of opposites. Now, what is unity of opposites? Yes, please. Light, dark, birth, death, heat, cold, teacher, students. Isn't it unity of opposites? Yes, they are very much interrelated and interdependent, but not compatible with each, but they are incompatible but indispensable. I claim myself to be a teacher, but if there is no student, then what sort of teacher? Both are two different elements, but its existence is necessary. When we are talking about light, but we haven't seen the darkness, the light doesn't have its existence itself, isn't it? So he says that all our makeup of the world is on the basis of unity of opposites. Remember, unity of opposite means they are incompatible but also indispensable, isn't it? Yes, he says that this is, and because they are incompatible, so after some time the conflict will start becoming more fierce, higher in degree, and when the conflict will be in higher in degree, he says abrupt change will come and the system will be replaced. But till they are for a longer time, they are gradually existing with each other, but incompatibility and with indispensability. How it will happen? He says negation of negation. What is negation? Contradiction. Living it. He says that all the changes in the world has taken place due to negation of negation. All sort of progress in the society has taken place due to negation of negation. And you will get the success due to negation of negation. How can you get success due to negation of negation? Yes, my friend. Just take an example, you are preparing for civil services. Now you have limited time. In that, we have to prepare those things. Can you continue your previous activities right now? Can we continue them? Impossible. Otherwise, you are not very much focused to your studies. Means you are negating the earlier activities to the new activities. All sort of changes has taken place. All sort of development progress has taken place on the basis of negating the earlier existence. Yes, already we have said that society in constant change. He said that actually the changes takes place in such a format. Thesis, antithesis, synthesis. Thesis means older order, new order, and the output. Older order, they never demand for changes. Do they demand? Because they are adjusted with the traditions and custom of the society. They are compatible with it, they are in habit of it, and they are enjoying it. New order, they are the emergent class. They are not comfortable with the earlier order and they demand for some changes. Remember, in initial stage, handful of people has demanded for the changes. Older order will retaliate. They will suppress. But gradually, if the supporter of the new order increases, they will challenge the older order. Conflict is bound to take place, and after conflict, the new society or new order will be established. Remember, after conflict, when new order is been established, it is not that we eliminate the older order. Yes, we include some of the required modification or new elements to this result, and some of the important things which is necessary for the society, although it is from the older order, we keep intact in our new system. Isn't it? Yes? Just take an example, family. Earlier we had joint family system. Now we say that it is breaking. Or new form is here, that is of nuclear family. Change has taken place. Remember, my friend, change takes place, or why there was demand for nuclear family, or there is a necessary demand for nuclear family. The reason apparent, now our society has changed. Earlier we were agrarian society. In agrarian society, muscle power was the requirement in agriculture. But now we need a specialized skill, isn't it? And for that, because we are educated, education means they give you or empower with you a specific skill, and to sell your skill you will have to geographically migrate to such place where you can sell. And the best family which can be mobile or which can transfer from one place to another place, that is nuclear family. Can the whole family transfer itself? Impossible. Isn't it? So according to the necessity, the transformation has taken place. But the basic thing, what is the basic thing of family? To take care of the inmates. This is the basic function. Older or newer order, don't we take care of our inmates? So transformation takes place according to the demand of the time, but some of the components which is necessary for maintaining the stability in the society, they also shifts to the new result. And he says that for a time being such thing has happened, thesis, antithesis, synthesis takes place, and because there is inbuilt tendency of changes. He has already said that society is never stagnant. Again you will find that new demands is taking place due to change in the mode of production, forces of production. And then again in the synthesis, antithesis emerges. And this is the continuous way of going through negation of negation. Got it? How the system negates the things gradually after a specific interval. Third is more important, means all of them are important. He says that how this abrupt, because he has said that gradual change is there, but at a specific time, revolutionary changes takes place. Abrupt changes takes place. He says that law of transformation or transition of quality into quantity into quality. Now, what is quantity? Every day, every second, some sort of changes is taking place. Just take an example. In last 3 or 4 days, has any changes taken place in your behavior or your knowledge regarding sociology? Changes has taken place. Every second some changes takes place, but after a specific time we are able to observe those changes. So these are the qualitative changes. Some sort of change every time is taking place. But he says that after a specific time, when there is lot of accumulation of changes, an abrupt change takes place and we come into the new phase. Now what he says? Yes, he said that the quality change means every moment some birth is taking place, somebody is growing, somebody is decaying, somebody is dying. This is a process, isn't it? Birth, growth, maturity, dying stage, these are the phases, these are the qualitative changes taking place. Now an abrupt change will take, that is between birth and death. What it means? Abrupt changes, here qualitative change means once the change has taken place, there won't be any existence of that person or that phenomena. Or abruptly, if new thing has come, it was not yesterday. In birth, it was not yesterday, today onward he is. Death, he had lived a long life, but now onward never he will be there. The same thing happened with the society. He has tried to show it that how the changes took place in the society from the ancient time, feudal time, capitalist time, and the communist period will come. And he said that when these phases will come, gradual change is taking place, and abruptly a specific time comes, revolutionary changes takes place, and we move from one phase to the another phase. Yes, this is his theory of dialectical change, logically how the changes is taking place in the society, and he has applied his philosophical base to understand the human society, and that is known as historical materialism. Historical materialism is in our syllabus. The first topic in our syllabus is historical materialism, and you will find that he has used his philosophical base, that is historical materialism, to understand the historical materialism. This is clear how the changes gradually has taken place, and Engels has interpreted it very nicely, the law of unity of opposites, then how negation of negation takes place, and lastly how from quality to quantity to qualitative changes takes place in the society. You will find the same methodology he has applied in study of historical materialism. Yes, friend, this Sunday we will have our first class test, and that will be unit 1. Okay? This is also known as European or the word historical materialism was never used by Karl Marx himself, but actually it was Plekhanov who for the first time used it. He was also mentor of Lenin. he used it. He considered that the historical interpretation of the society can be termed better with the word historical materialism, and it was popularized by Plekhanov and Engels, the associate of Marx. Yes, to develop the theory of historical materialism, or we can say that Marx wanted to understand the history of evolution of the society, not on a historical basis, but what is the influence of economy in the changes in the or evolution of the society. Remember, Marx had studied various historical books, and he was very much disillusioned by the history, the way it has been written, because he said that in the history everywhere it is mentioned about the kings and the queens and the nobles, their situation, their aggression, their success, failure, but nowhere there is mention about the subject class. What were their conditions? And this is a major lacuna in the history, because this is not, you are not talking about the society but a particular section. So after going through those things, he considered that let us know about the society and how the changes in the society is taking place, and he tried to give his own interpretation of the history of a human being. So first of all, he considered that history, or he has studied the historical materialism with two elements. One, he based his assumption about human society, and on the basis of his assumption of human society, he wanted to know how the changes takes place. Yes, he says about the human society, how human beings are different from animals. Is there,
Develop socially
yeah,
by interacting each other.
We are considered
animals also interact with each other,
considered to be rational beings.
rational being.
I mean, we get a
Dogs are also very rational.
Pursuit for material life.
Yeah,
Pursuit for material life.
pursuing for material life, labor, the work. We labor and create for ourselves. They are parasite on the nature. Can any of the animal develop their own food? They are dependent on the nature, on the others. But we have developed the skill, and that is the labor. Marx also says the same thing, that actually this is the labor which differentiate between the man and the animal. All of us eat, drink, sleep. Yes, he says that you should have food and shelter, but never forget to do the labor, because this is differentiating you from the animals. It is very necessary for us to be in continuum with the labor, because progressively this is bringing all sort of changes or progress in the society. Yes, he says that matter economy is the most important phenomenon. Why? Because all other things comes after the economic situation. For this he says, he has used two words. Infrastructure and superstructure. This is also known as base or substructure. He says that infrastructure is and superstructure is all other things, legal, political, social, religious, all other phenomena are after the economy. Religion, we are religious people. But can we give, if I am dying of hunger, will I enjoy Ramayana or Mahabharata if it is taking place? If my belly is empty, my first priority is to serve it, to fill it, then any other social activity can take place, religion or politics. Marx has said that yes, this is a prominent way, prominent thing, that all other things comes after the economy. Other to it, with the change in economy, even your superstructure, the religion, the political system, all this also changes. The education system changes. Now in modern time, we give least importance to religious education. Instead of that, we are more focused to vocational training, utilitarian education, isn't it? Because that is the demand of the society itself. Religion. Now we are not, although collectivity is the main purpose of the religion, but we have respect for God, we have respect for religion, but it is very private, not a public display, isn't it? Because changes, why? Now we are a cosmopolitan city, cosmopolitan citizen, isn't it? Variety means pluralism should be respected over here. People are from different caste, creed and religion exist over there. And we are being trained to be a secular set of mind. So with the, why these plurality is necessary? Because we have capitalist society. In capitalist society, the capitalist needs labor force from all caste, creed and religion. Economy has changed, even this is changing. So he says the changes takes place in our society according to the infrastructure, and the superstructure follow those things. Understanding the society. Now he wants to know that how the changes in the society is taking place. Yes, on the basis of his historical materialism, he gives the interpretation. He said that till now, society has passed through 4 stages on the basis of, and he explains these things on the basis of dialectical materialism. How historically the society has transformed into 4 different stages, he has shown them, and also envisages that in future a new society will be formed, what he says, communism. First he says, first stage, primitive communism. Ancient society. This is also known as stage of slave society. Feudal society. Capitalism. These are the 4 stages what he has talked about, and also anticipate that in future a new society will be formed, that is communism. Okay? These are the 4 stages he has defined, and in future this will be there. Okay, first of all, let us talk about primitive communism. Primitive means primordial. Communism means commune. What is meaning of commune? Yeah? Interact or a group. Community. First, he has talked about the primordial or early stage of grouping or a communities of simple society. He says that this was a simple society based on hunting and food gatherers society. They were hunters and food gatherers. Means everybody used to participate in production. The female used to gather the firework or preparing the foods. Male used to go for the huntings and other things. All the members of the society used to contribute in it. He said that this was an egalitarian society. Means the things were shared according to the need. Everybody were equal. He says that in such society there was no person who was rich or poor. Why? Because he says that at that time there was absence of surplus. What is surplus? Extra. Means whatsoever they used to produce, there was more than, it was not sufficient other to the consumption. So because there was no surplus, the society was very much united with each other. He says gradually with the changes in mode of production, forces of production, some changes took place. More development in the society took place. Means now in this last stage of this primitive communism, instead of giving importance to the community, now some of the symptoms started emerging that people started giving importance to the family unit. Remember, negation of negation. Means earlier mode of interaction has been negated, and this is bound to take change, to bring changes. He said this led to another, that is ancient society. At the mature stage, transformation was witnessed in the primitive society, and that led to the ancient society. It is said, he said that in ancient society, the people came to know about animal husbandry and horticulture. Other to it, surplus emerged in the society, as we had witnessed in the last stage. Now here the surplus has emerged in the society. Now if there is surplus in the society, who should have the ownership of that surplus? Who should have? Means to claiming the ownership of the surplus, conflict is bound to take place. Conflict took place, and those who were the winners, they became haves. Those who were the losers, they became have-nots. And he says, for the first time in the society got divided into two parts. And what he has said, that is master and slave. Who were the masters? Haves. The winners, they were the masters. Slaves, those were the losers. Yes, he says that the condition of the slave was that they were not allowed even the basic instinct or the basic right of a human being, right to marriage, right to property, or right to family, to form a family. Yes, the master can buy the slave, sell the slave, or on their whim they can even kill the slave. They had the total ownership on the slaves. Okay, tell me one thing. When these slaves were not given the right to form a family or get married, they were the labor force of the society. So naturally, after some time, the slave will also become old or die. Then how the recruitment of the new members in this service sector used to take place?
Some the master slave, some will belong to some
Exclusion from other areas.
Yeah, from?
Other areas.
Yes, remember, this was the time when the society was in constant conflict with each other. Remember, horticulture, animal husbandry, means yet they were nomadic form. They were not the settled people, moving from one place to the another place. And in such case, they will come under the conflict, or to overpower others, they will come into the conflict. And on the whenever there was requirement to recruit the members as a labor force, an attack used to take place, and the defeated groups, members and women, they were included or recruited as the slaves for the labor force. This was the situation over there. Remember, when you don't have much liability, you can move faster. They were nomadic, moving from one place to another, and if they permit the slaves also to have the family, means it will expand a lot. Now what happened? Again dialectical materialism. In ancient society, at the mature stage, people started, or at this mature stage, the thing came that we started knowing about, or we came to know about the process of agriculture. From horticulture to advanced stage of agriculture. Means when agriculture is there, importance of animals and land is bound to take place. At this stage, importance or significance of land increased as well as animal. Settled life at one place. He said that at later stage, even slaves started revolting against the masters. That was the mature phase, or this was the stage of transformation from one to another. He said that the feudal stage came, where now the importance was given to the land and animals. And he says the society remained divided, but it transformed into lords and serfs. Lords are more or so like a master. They are the owner of the land. Serf, now they is slightly different from the slave. Slaves didn't have any right. But the serfs had the right to marry or make family. As well as they also started having some right on the property, or which were donated by the lords to the serfs. They can cultivate on them. Why this change that they have allowed the serfs to form their family?
Because they were settled.
Yes, economy has changed. Marx is known as economic deterministic, means with the change in economy, with change in infrastructure, change in superstructure will take place. Yes, now you are having a settled life. In agriculture, we need lot of manpower. Family is allowed. Along with it, continuous supply of labor from generation to generation. Isn't it? From one generation to another generation. Serfdom was the most suitable way of recruitment of the member. So the transformation in the system has taken place. Isn't it? Because the serfs, they are having family, and from generation to generation serfs used to serve for the same lord. You, your children and others generation will be serving over there. Yes, one thing was here, that theoretically the serfs were independent, means they can change their lords, take their own decision, but practically it was not possible. Why? Yes, Marx says that at that time there was a nexus between the lords and the king or the state. It was considered that, remember, European lords used to also keep their army. It is debatable in Indian context that Indian zamindars or the lords were not allowed to keep their army, but European used to keep there. And when the king or the state is in war, they used to support or supply their army for the war. And in lieu of this, they were granted a specific area at lordship, and they can extract taxes or take their own decision. And when there was conflict between the lords and the serfs, naturally even the state or the king will help or support the lords. So they used to be suppressed. Now, at the mature stage of feudal society, continuous change is taking place, mature stage will come. Again, contradiction is bound to take place. Yes, at later stage of feudal society, we find that we also started knowing about various inanimate source of energy. Wind, water, solar, other energies were created. Means now we are transforming ourselves to the industrial phase. We have already studied that how, when industrialization took place, people started flocking to the urban areas, isn't it? So in the mature stage, contradiction again takes place and capitalism emerges. Okay, in capitalism, what is capital? What is the meaning of capital?
Money, financial resources.
Yes, money. Isn't it? Or anybody wants to define his answer? Or should I consider that capital means money?
Not money, exactly.
Huh?
Resources. Resources. Because money that time financial resources.
Two components of capital, one is physical and the other is financial. The financial would be the money invested, and then like physical would be land and machinery and all those aspects.
Yeah, she is giving the correct. Because money itself doesn't, just take an example, I give you 1 lakh and you purchase a bike. आजकल 1 लाख वाला कौन सा आता है? Be whatsoever, means that is not the capital. Capital means whatever where I am spending the money with the assumption that in future it will give me return. Isn't it? And this way of thinking is known as capitalism. Okay. We know that during capitalism, means this is phase where factory system emerged. What is factory system? Mechanization of production, isn't it? Mechanization of production has taken place. He says that in capitalism stage, a drastic change in the society took place, which has never ever in the society has taken. Means such a rapid changes never in the society has taken place due to this factory system. Remember earlier whatever we have studied, there was interaction between the haves and haves nots. Somewhere they were interrelated. Earlier in the feudal system, the whole family used to serve the lords from generation to generation. But during the capitalism, was there any need to have this type of affiliation? No. Because in factory system, we need the skilled laborers. Isn't it? And so, the relation became very much professional based on skill and compensation. Caste nexus. Other to it, this is the first time when family lost its importance in production. Means for the first time, family became a non-productive unit or a consumption unit. Why? Because all the members of the family won't have the same skill. Other to it, to learn the skill, it requires some time. Why we are being educated? We are being educated means in one way, for a longer time we are being trained for a particular skill. And when you will develop those skills, then only you will be beneficial for the society. So importance of education came, and till you are in the process of training or in the process of education, you are a parasite in your family. You people, most of you all, not all of you, isn't it? Now again, our parents are not unhappy on this, because they know the better you are skilled, the better opportunity of your career comes, isn't it? So in a way, the family became a consumption unit, which earlier was a production unit, isn't it? Other to it, the relation between the owner as well as the labor was estranged, or sometimes it was anonymous also. Not the emotional way of interaction was there. And for this, Marx says that a new type of division in the society took place, what he has mentioned. Bourgeois and proletariat. Bourgeois are the haves, the owners of the factory, entrepreneurs, and the proletariats are the people who are providing the service, the labor force. Now remember, my friend, one thing. Marx has used deliberately the word proletariat, and it has some specific meaning. It is not just a labor force. Because in modern society or in his society, all the people will be have-nots or the labor force, not only the industrial worker, but even the farmers are there. They are also the labor force. But he has used specifically the word proletariats for industrial laborers. Remember, the word proletariat is specifically for the industrial laborers employed in industry, not the have-nots in general like farmers or others. Why he says? Because he says that a time will come when proletariats will overthrow the capitalism and the next stage, that is communism, will come. Why proletariats will overthrow? He says that because now we know that this is a factory system. What is factory system? What is factory? At a particular location, under the same roof, we are employed, we are working in the same factory. We are proletariats. Because of factory system, we are collecting here, not for a day or two, but years and years. Isn't it? And as Aristotle has said, man is an animal. Social animal. Man is a social animal. Means if we are regularly meeting with each other, after some time friendship will develop. And when friendship will develop, we'll start talking about the bourgeois, how they are exploiting. We are doing all the work and they are taking the benefit. And this will bring resentment. Why? Because here, remember, production is a collective phenomena. If you have money, then I am also giving it a polishing touch with my labor and my skill. Isn't it? Means you are contributing, then I am also contributing. So production is a collective. One man, if you have money but no labor force, it is useless. I have the skill, but if I don't have money, it is useless. So both is necessary. It is a collective phenomena, production. But when it is to appropriate the money, take out the benefit or profit of the product, the capitalist claims their ownership. Isn't it? So this will lead to anger, and a time will come the proletariats will get united because we are now friends with each other. We have discussed about the exploitation done by the capitalist on us, and a day will come we will become united and overthrow the capitalism. He says then a new society will be formed, that is communism. He says that communism will take place in two stages. First stage will be socialism, and the second stage will come to, yes, he says, when the proletariats will overthrow the capitalism, he says that that is the stage of dictatorship of proletariats. For a short span there will be socialism. In this, the proletariats, the people will learn the art of governance with the help of others, means who are in the governance. Other to it, there won't be any private property, private ownership. All the things will be public, owned by the state, and according to the need, necessity, they will be shared to the other members. And he said that this is for the short term time, and after that the state will wither away. There won't be any state, and the people can enjoy the maximum of their life. He considered that people will be able to perform their work according to their wish. Now when it is about that, again you have explained all these things on the basis of contradiction, negation of negation. Then what about you? After communism also antithesis should come there. I am the interpreter, I will give you a new theory. He says that yes, again here the contradiction will take place, but not as a conflict, but as a advancement in the technology. Now you have shifted it to the technology, that advancement in the technology will take place, nanotechnology or other various advanced technology will come, and they will facilitate or they will give comfort to the human being in human progress. Now I have diverted the thing. Earlier I was giving the contradiction on the basis of human conflict. Now we have said that contradiction will come in and advancements will take place, but in the terms of science and technology. So that it will give us the comfort. Yes, we have already seen that all this explanation is on the basis of history and influence of economy. So it is interpreted as historical materialism. Okay? This is first stage. What I have said, that when we are thinking or trying to understand a thinker, we should try to think that what way they are thinking without any apprehension that he is right or wrong. Means we should consider he is right, not wrong. Now we come to the criticism. Remember, my friend, in the notes you will find that at the end of every scholar there are some criticism. Now remember, this criticism has importance in two ways. First, whatever you have studied, you are also aware about the flaws. Second, when you are writing your answer, as I had said you that earlier, that keywords are that as explain, discuss, and various other things comes here. This, what is the criticism? Actually, these are more or so statements or analysis of a scholar. So in criticism you are using, but when discussion comes, remember, in discussion we need to discuss the topic on the basis of some scholars. So when you are talking, even if you are talking about historical materialism of Marx, but you can also, instead of using the word criticism, you can discuss with the other aspect that, but according to Robertson or ABC whatsoever, they have such and such views here. So this criticism will help you to play while writing the answer, means you can juggle with the information. So remember, these criticisms are very necessary. Again, you will be able to understand the meaning of the criticism, but more important, the word of the scholar should be in your mind. That will give you the importance. Otherwise, it is easier to understand the information. Yes, here in criticism, Robertson has said that more or so what Marx has explained, it is less a history, more a story. Why? Because history also defines, specify the date, the period, the timing. Marx has not said that when was these periods, has not assigned any time, isn't it? So it is more or so his own creation, but it is least a history, more a story. Along with it, Weber says that yes, his analysis is good, but somewhere he has missed in his analysis when he is talking about the capitalist society, the modern society. Isn't it? Modern society is capitalist society. He said that in capitalist society, the society is not only divided into bourgeois, the owners, and the proletariats, the labor force, but in between, the one most important major force is middle class. Manager, administrators, supervisors, and they are very much contented with the society because they are having heavy salaries. They are also giving self-satisfaction because they are made decision maker of the company, isn't it? So he says that he has missed the major thing in between, that was the middle class. Other to it, we say that historical materialism, we say that it is economic interpretation of history, European history or human history. Here it is an economic deterministic theory, means all the sort of changes according to it comes due to change in economy. Change cannot be confined to a specific factor. Due to various different reasons also changes can take place, due to geographical location, geographical region, political reason, right has taken place, religious reason, various reason can take place due to war and other things also, displacement takes place, landslide and others. Means very geographical, political, religious and other factors are also associated with transformation. We can't just justify that due to only economy the changes takes place. These are the criticism. Always try to make 2 or 3 criticism handy in yourself. So this will be very much beneficial, first to show the flaws, and secondly when you are analyzing the answers. And you will find that at the end of most of the chapters you will find some of the criticism over there. Okay friends, for today we have completed this historical materialism along with dialectical materialism. It was important, although it is not in our syllabus. Remember, no direct question will be asked till the UPSC doesn't surprises you about the historical materialism. But remember, till you don't understand the historical materialism, it is impossible to know the philosophical base of Marx. So it is very necessary for our intellectual flavor. Next, tomorrow we will go through mode of production as well as alienation. Okay. Thank you so much.